It's Wednesday night, and welcome to another Undressed podcast. Hello, I'm Jeremy Taylor, and welcome to Wednesday Night Undressed, the podcast that reaches into the wobbly places other podcasts
dare not venture.
Yes, thank you very much. Join our panel for a thrilling threnody of rumbustical debate. You see, you can't say that, can you? Rumbustical, thrilling threnodies.
Thrilling threnody of rumbustical debate.
Okay, that's fine. Where the answers are always clear, simple and straightforward, insofar as they can be determined and demonstrated to be without any epistemological problems.
Epistemological problems, that's tough.
Not bad. Let me introduce our panel tonight. We have Andrei's with us, Sofia's with us, Kathleen, Julian, Meredith, Chris, Eli's with us tonight, Lewis, Cassidi.
Hello.
Hello, Cassidy. How are you?
I'm good.
Excellent. And Mr. Evo.
and me.
Yes.
And me.
Fernando's here too.
Fernando's here, present.
Where's Fernando?
Hi, Fernando.
Fernando.
Hello.
I don't know. Have I forgotten Fernando again?
Again.
Oh, love. And Fernando, of course, is with us. And I have to say, Mr. Neil is back from his travels, and he will be playing with his knobs as just the way he does. It's amazing.
Thank God you are back, Neil, because I'm no good on the knobs.
No
good at all.
It's not twisting the knobs.
You were just fine, Lou.
Kathleen is, she's already finished her first beer. So let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen.
Other three lined up.
Yeah.
Neil Rasmussen, by the way, was not here last week because he was on a swingers cruise, right? All inclusive.
Interestingly, his wife has gone away for a few days and left him. So who knows where she is?
In the Caribbean.
I wonder if she met.
I think she went back on the same cruise.
Is she on the cruise? Turned around. Went straight back. Yeah. Okay. So, right. Some interesting questions. What are your feelings, team, on teenagers trick or treating? Do you treat them? Does it matter if they're wearing costumes? And let's start with Sofia.
I really like trick or treating. I'm gonna be an adult next year. Legally speaking, my lawyer's in the room. They get me. They feel me. But I don't know. I'm dressed up as Sue Sylvester from Glee this year. I'm really pumped about it. And if I don't get some candy out of it, I'm gonna be kind of sad. But also, I get I don't give candy out to people who aren't dressed up because you're not in it to win it. You can just go to Walmart and get a bag of candy at that point. Don't be a dick and take it from the kids who don't have their own income to do that. But if you're dressed up, then yeah, I'll give you a little candy. Just don't. I hate when people take the whole bowl. My brother does that. Andre literally, there was one year I've watched him and his friend dump the entire bowl on a take one. They dumped the whole thing in a bag, and me out of the charity in my heart, I gave some of my candy and put it back in the bowl because I didn't want to be that dick that takes away all the candy from everyone else.
Meredith.
Trick-or-treating is awesome. I really feel like you should definitely get away with it as long as you can because, dude, if somebody's going to give you candy, take it. I don't care. And, honestly, what are we saving it for? Trick-or-treating is pretty much done by, 8 o'clock at night. So,
what costume do you wear?
I wear the costume of the angry mom walking down the street because I have to follow these two knuckleheads down the street. Oh. But I will say this: it does irritate me if you're not wearing it. At least give me a mask. At least give me a little bit of participation in the event. That one does irritate me.
If Sofia can get dressed up, why can't you? I mean, you could get a tutu or something.
I'm not trick or treating. I just buy a bag of candy. I'm that dick. I just buy the bag of candy. So there's that.
Meredith
but I will say,
dick.
Super irritating when grown people show up with a baby who's in an adorable costume. That's cool, but bro, this candy is not for that 6-month-old. Like, let's be real about that. That one I don't like.
Okay, Kathleen.
Yeah, well, we live out in the country, so we haven't had a trick-or-treater in the entire time.
Ah, let's go
God.
there.
You know,
I'm thinking it's
hundreds of
worth
feet
a
of
car
gravel
trip.
drive
Do it.
and no lights out really discourages people somehow. But when I was in a place where you had kids, I would not mind if it was a teenager taking younger kids around. They get some candy too. They get credit for that.
No, but what about the group of teenagers?
The group of teenagers, if they're in harmless-looking costumes, I'll give them some candy. If they hold a gun to my head, I'm calling the police.
Cassidy.
So as a teenager, my opinion on teenagers trick-or-treating is that they should be able to and get away with it as long as you can. Also, when there's a bowl of candy just sitting out with a sign that says "take one," you can't really expect people to only take one.
They should. It's written.
But like you can't really expect that. It's a group of teenagers. They're gonna do what they want to do. Like can't really just write a sign and stop that. I'm not saying that I did that. I'm not saying I didn't do that.
I feel like
I'm
that's
just
exactly what you're saying. I
I'm
feel
just
like you're
that-
saying you did that.
Yeah.
Cassidy, I'm asking other people, what costume would you wear?
So this year I'm being Men in Black with somebody.
Men in Black with someone.
Julian specifically.
Julian. Oh, right. Okay.
To be Men in Black, you do have to have more than one person there. Yeah, makes sense.
Right. Chris.
You both should just wear cowboy hats and be Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid.
Yes.
That'd be
Chris
cool.
going as a block of cheese. What, Chris?
Yeah, I usually tended to give out candy to just about everybody, but if it was teenagers with no costume, then I have
Naked teenagers.
well, it'd be the bad candy that those kids would get. I would have the really nice stuff that I'd give the kids with good costumes, but for the teenagers, slip them the the stuff that nobody else was going to want. Yeah, that kind of stuff. And as far as the the one bowl with all the stuff in it and just take one, well, there's only one bowl, so I'm just taking the one bowl. So I'm just taking one.
Eli.
Yeah, let them teens get in on the holiday spirit. Come on. They got to be wearing costumes. But come on.
Okay, point of order. Halloween is not a holiday.
Literally, it should be.
Maybe it
How
should be.
dare
But
you.
And it should be
Halloween is a day on which you don't have to go to work. Halloween is not a holiday.
It is the eve of
That's
a
what. That's the
holiday.
meaning
You are
of
correct.
holiday.
Fernando.
Jewish people still have to
For
go to work on
someone
their
that
holidays.
started
I mean-
for someone that starred in 11 Halloween movies, how dare you say this?
Fernando.
I don't care. I just put a bowl there, free for grabs, go nuts. If I see the bowl empty, I turn off the light and I don't give a crap. Like TV
I like that
hosting.
Humbug. Basically, yes,
yeah.
the man said.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I
Eva.
don't use any costume.
No, Eva.
So my comment to Kathleen has to do with the fact that no one has seen Kathleen and Jamie Lee Curtis in the same room at the same time. So she looks exactly like her. I would definitely
Particularly leggings.
approve.
Oh, we like leggings.
Yes.
We do like leggings. Yes.
I have no idea what this means, but
We are told.
so I approve of trick or treating at an advanced age. I trick or treat regularly.
You like the trick
Said
part
you
better,
don't
don't you?
like it.
Yes. You know about my tradition, right? With the Mad Greek, we talked about it. I sit at the Mad Greek on Halloween and
restaurant.
greet
Yeah,
people
thanks.
and have a bottle of wine. But this year, we decided, because last couple of times we did it, the parents that brought the kids with the costumes to parade on Mass Street were looking very tired and annoyed. And several of them were obviously envious of me and Jamie drinking a bottle of Pinot Noir at the Mad Greek and just enjoying the Halloween parade. So several of them were like, we need adult trick-or-treating here at the Mad Greek. So I saw, believe it or not, at the liquor store, like a bag of those bottles for that they offer at the airplanes. You know,
Small.
booze, small bottle,
Grown-up
and
trick-or-treat.
it's called a bag of adult trick-or-treating. You know, so we're gonna grab a couple of those and be at the Met Greek on Halloween and offer the parents, if they want, of course, some of that. So that's gonna be fun.
Andrei, are you there?
I forgot what the question was really about.
Would you
About your
give
thieving candy ways out of the
yeah.
Take One bowl.
What are your feelings on teenagers trick or treating? Do you treat them? Does it matter if they're wearing costumes? So
Oh.
I want to know: A, what costume were you wearing?
What costume was I wearing when I took the bowl?
No, what costume will you be wearing this year?
Well, one could
on,
argue
you
that
can
I'll
tell
be
us.
wearing the
It's
same
just us.
costume that I put on every day, which is being a 4-star football kicker, state award-winning graphic designer, and just
4-star
overall playboy.
General playboy.
Yeah, and
With
a
your
very
new-
humble guy.
Yeah.
But
Very humble. I don't talk about it very much. But
Oh, I should say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for any girlies who are listening out there, he's just got a new truck, new pickup. Yes,
Very true.
very sexy. Yes,
I think
go
I
on.
remember us
I-
having a discussion about trucks. Yeah, truck beds.
Well,
Anyways,
yeah.
I don't. I mean, if I'm the one who has to get up, like when we have my grandparents, they always keep the candy inside, and we have to get up and go give the candy to people. So I mean, I won't say no to anyone, but I won't be wearing a costume, and yeah, I don't think it's. I don't
Sorry,
think it
no
matters
need
that
to
much.
burst into tears. You sound so upset and disappointed
That's
that you're
right.
not going to be wearing a
Can,
costume.
can I just say that we haven't mentioned the topic of as the householder, do you get dressed up to answer the door?
Julian,
Yeah, because I had once when I was a kid, my mother got dressed up as a mummy with all sorts of stuff wrapped around her and answered the door that way. She scared the crap out of a whole bunch of little kids. It was great.
outstanding.
Julian.
Right. So, I think that anybody should be able to trick or treat whenever. Why gatekeep trick or treating when you're a kid? Just let people have fun. And if you don't have a costume, if you just look like you really didn't feel the need to get one, I might give you candy. But just having a mask or dressing up with your clothes that looks like somewhat of a reference to something, I think that's a good thing.
Some of those are insane. When I was at the Met Greek, there was a teenager that trick-or-treated at the Met Greek, and he was wearing just yellow suit, just a yellow suit and a red baseball hat. And they asked him, what is he? And he said, I'm a French fry with a little bit of ketchup on it. Lazy.
Some people they can't get costumes because of religious reasons. So if they can't, why once again gatekeep it behind wearing a costume? And if you want to dress up as something to when you're answering the door, I don't mind, but it's not like a required. It's a personal matter. And when I see the bull of take one, I might take two. But if you take more than two, that's just a crime. You should be locked up.
It's a crime to pay more.
Can I say
You were well brought up.
Can I only add at the end that I hate those asshole dentists that offer toothbrushes instead of candy to a
No.
kid?
They should
I
be.
hate them.
They should be offering full-size candy bars so that more kids go to them.
Yeah, if they had any idea how to run a business, Lewis.
So I am pro teenager trick or treating, and what I tend to do is if they dress up, they get heroin. If they don't dress up, then they're relegated to just
I'm
regular
coming to your house this
Coke.
year.
Just cocaine.
That should be adult
Just get the
trick-or-treating.
regular candy. Exactly. It's stepped on. It's no good. So that's no. I think you should be able
The
to.
police are
trick
going to be paying you a visit later.
Well, I mean, that's.
He's a lawyer. What are they
every year.
gonna do?
It's okay, he's a
Oddly enough.
lawyer.
He's
Yeah.
a lawyer now. Yeah.
So no, I think it's completely fine for kids to trick or treat. Quite honestly, I like trick or treating, and Kath, I absolutely love to dress up, like to give out the candy. My fondest memories of Halloween are literally like having kids run away from my door screaming because
What was the cost?
I go off. Usually, it's something like really tame. Like I'll just do like horns, the horns you can buy and put on your head and put on like a cloak. But just taking a flashlight and opening it, like having all the lights off in the door and opening the door with the light like shining up on my face. Oh, it freaks people the fuck out.
Dad, I think I should be the one having a talk with you on the ride home this time.
I think you're probably right, Julian. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, thank you for that. By the way,
Jeremy, we didn't hear what your feelings are on teenagers.
Well, I like the idea of teenagers coming to my front door in costumes, except it's illegal, and so
Wait, we're going down. We're going down the wrong
I'm very happy
channel
with,
for
I'm
this
very happy
podcast.
with my Jamie Lee Curtis in
Just
her
remember
leotard.
that you are officially a lawyer now. You're gonna need your help.
That's very good. And points, by the way, for this question. I'm giving Chris 10 points for
bingo!
Not today. Next week.
It's all right.
I'm giving Chris 10 points for using the word naked. And Meredith didn't quite make it this time. She did use the word dick, but she's only getting 5 points. So
as Julian would say, I feel like this is racially motivated.
Yeah, racially motivated. Next question. When it's your time, how do you want to go? And for me, it's very easy. Ferrari.
Wall.
I've stopped talking. Bridge. Ferrari cliff. Ferrari. Don't care. As long as it's red.
Just drive off the Grand Canyon in a Ferrari.
In a Ferrari.
Okay,
yes,
that's good.
I want to be,
Thelma and Louise,
Yeah. So,
well, wouldn't your
okay,
last
Kathleen.
thought be regret over wrecking the Ferrari?
No.
No,
He wouldn't
you'd
care.
have
As long as it's not his Ferrari.
Don't need to pay.
Oh, okay, that's
No,
better.
because
Yeah.
it's
Could even
Evo's
be drunk.
Ferrari.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's been wondering where his Ferrari's gone. Okay, Julian, you can start this one.
All right.
When
so,
it's your time.
2 things. Number
things.
1, you guys already know what's gonna happen if I'm on death row. We've discussed this previously.
Yes. Last time.
There's like a 30% chance that's gonna happen. And if that doesn't happen, I want to go out before I get to be one of those old people who is like bedbound permanently. That just seems boring.
Yeah.
Like, and then I just don't want to like hurt. I would rather it just be painless. Otherwise, I don't care.
Yeah. Good one.
So like amnesia and bullet to the head, because I can't come back after that.
Amnesia and a bullet to the head. Andrei. You want to be a horse? Do you want to question on sport or something?
Probably a 30 rack in a car.
A what?
30 rack?
Your sister
30
so
beers.
embarrassed.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All
yes.
A nice car.
A nice car. Anything in particular?
Maybe a Ferrari.
A Ferrari too.
Yeah, maybe we could both be in the Ferrari.
We could be in the car together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm
would
driving.
drive.
Oh, you can run over him on the way over.
I don't think it matters who's driving. If,
Well, of course
if
it
that's how we're
matters.
going out.
Well, true. If we've stolen it from
You
Eva.
could have a chauffeur.
Just tell him.
No, it's not fair on the chauffeur.
Well, he's willing to.
Yeah, if he's
Well,
in on
true.
it.
Yeah.
You
I
get a
think
bonus.
It's like a Colt.
Sofia, you just said you were willing to drive the Ferrari.
Yeah, shit, I'll join the Ferrari.
So that's the three of us in a Ferrari.
It's a nice Ferrari. I'm driving.
Sofia's driving.
It is
Okay.
a Colt.
How would you like to go when it's your time? Do you want to wake up dead one morning or something, or what?
Did I not just say the
How do you wake up
Ferrari
dead?
or what?
That's really what you'd like to do.
Listen, man, I don't care. As long as I go eventually and I'm not doomed to live eternity, then, you know.
Yeah, living in eternity would be a sucky thing to do. I say.
You can go, yeah.
Hasn't anybody here seen Soylent Green?
No.
You need to.
Oh yeah.
You should. That's a movie that talks about a guy who, in the future, they have a choice. You can go to a luxurious place and see visions of good stuff and be just quietly put to sleep while you're enjoying things. Right? There's more to it than that afterward, but still, that idea of how you get knocked off is actually not bad. So that would probably be a humane way to do things when you decide you want to go.
Meredith.
Well, you guys are really gonna hate me here because I'm totally gonna bring down the mood. But so my dad died of cancer, and I found it to be a blessing and a curse. So I don't necessarily actually want to go quickly, because the one thing I did find is that even though my father had a terminal illness, it made us take the time to really appreciate, and we got to go on like the last best road trip ever with him, and it just made everything that much more heightened of making sure that you really appreciate somebody that you know you're not going to have anymore. So that's, sorry to kill the funny vibe.
Chris.
Quietly in my sleep. That's how I want to go.
Okay. Eli, looking for something interesting from
I
you?
always imagined explosions or some kind of heist gone wrong. Maybe
The Ferrari could be the getaway car.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So Eli wants to go in an explosion.
Or a heist going wrong.
All right. Fernando.
Well, I'm kind of like on a Eli vibe, like something like I wish will be me that was being like trying a cross-track Segway disappear on a cliff. However, that already happened with the founder of Segway.
You can come in the Ferrari with us if you want.
Well, but that would be too, like, I don't know, something just very shocking that can make news and people off. And of course, I want to that happen, and when my mind and body still, functional.
Punching a bear.
Huh?
Like punching a bear.
Oh, maybe fight with a shoebill. Stork.
Cassidy.
Chasing a shoebill stork.
When it's your time, how would you like to go?
Me personally, I think that dying in my sleep would be terrible because I would like to not be drowned either, but dying in my sleep, I don't want the last thing for me to do is put on a YouTube video so I can fall asleep with background noise. I want to die not quickly. Yeah.
Not quickly. I'll put not quickly down. Yeah. Evo.
Well, first of all, I want to say that if I know that I'm on my deathbed, I will immediately move to another bed. And then, what would be a good way to go? I think would be probably drowning in a pool full of boobs would be a good way to go. Suffocated by puppies would be a nice way to go.
And being Dracula's distant cousin, how do you feel about steaks, hearts, and things like that?
Steaks
through hearts and stuff.
I mean, there's no appeal to this for me. Death by zombie would suck. I don't like that.
You would just come back and be sad.
Yeah, come back and act like a young Republican. I don't like that.
Lewis.
Meredith, you actually stole my answer. That was almost exactly what I was going to say. I want to be essentially surrounded by the ones that I love, and I want them to be joyous. If I can somehow manage to make it a party, that's exactly what I'd want. I'd want it to be a happy occasion. I'd want it to I'd want the last thing that I see is the folks that I love smiling. That would be
my
the
dad
best
rolled
way
out
to
to
go.
Rubbing their hands
Stones
together with,
and we were jamming out to 70s music. It was
So who's in the will?
joyous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
my
what
will.
Julian says. He says, rubbing his hands together, smiling. What's in the will? Dad's a lawyer.
How
he's
much
worth
can
a
I
fortune.
get?
Yeah, he's wanting to know how much he can get.
I left it all to your sister.
Yeah.
Hey, just
I don't know
saying.
if that was the smartest decision.
Okay, well, we'll move on to the next
Julian
question.
wants to chime in.
Sorry, Julian.
All
Sorry,
right, so
beg your pardon.
I think we should stick whoever wants to go out in the bang. I forget names. Sorry. In the trunk of the Ferrari and put fireworks in it, and then I'll be under the Ferrari, cause I think it'd be funny. No. I'd hang on to the under.
Oh right.
That's
Interesting.
That was a very good question. I love
Well,
it.
we can have Sofia driving the Ferrari, and Andrei giving instructions. You can be in the trunk, right? I will be in the back seat smoking a cigar, right? and fireworks going off all over the
But
place.
what about
And
the
I'll be
people
up
having
on-
secondhand smoking?
That's true.
Well, it
yeah.
doesn't
He
matter,
said
does
it.
it?
Oh, that's right.
I'll be up on the cliff. Look at the insurance policies.
Like
Um,
one big insurance claim.
now again, I've been asked about points, and I have to say, we're giving Meredith 2 points for killing the mood.
You're welcome.
And Chris gets 2 points because he just wanted to go quietly. No Ferraris, no girls in long boots, nothing. So that was really rather boring, actually, from Chris. I have to say.
The rest of my answers
the-
will be very boring from now on.
The next question, I'm not really quite. Kanye.
Yeah.
Or you could just not say his name at all.
Yeah.
Kanye.
Kanye, something. Has he been cancelled? Lewis, who is Kanye?
He's this guy. He's kind of known a little bit.
He's a rapper.
Yeah. Well, he's technically. Yeah. Well, so I have questions actually. Like, is he still a rapper? Like, he hasn't really released any music recently, but since his. Well, that's a good question. Oh yeah. Donda is recent, but now that he's
Now that he's canceled, nobody's
now that
buying
he's
it.
poor, do you think he's gonna go back to essentially flooding the world with his music? Because at most recent estimates, with the loss of the Adidas deal and the loss of
He has his own brand now.
that nobody else owns in partnership with him, do you think do you think that it was planned that he basically did all this crazy shit so that he would own it by himself?
Well, I don't know if it's planned, but I think it was just gonna happen either way. Either that or I don't know, but I think he is focusing on being a more clothes designer guy instead of music.
Gotcha.
So if not, he probably would have started as a new thing. I don't know.
Do you think he'll be able to sell anything that he markets or makes now that
Black people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think black people would care about the anti-Jewish stuff?
No.
I don't think they care about the anti-Jewish stuff. I think they care about him being anti his own damn race.
Okay, that's fair.
Slavery is a choice, stuff.
That's fair.
Dude said
That's fair.
enough. It doesn't matter,
he's been
dude.
chilled.
He's definitely a racist against his own race, black man.
Are we sure it's not just a phase?
Denial.
It could just be a
It's
phase.
like that one girl on Dr. Phil who was black, very dark skinned. Yeah, and then she was
exactly what you're
and she's like, oh my god, whenever I'm walking around a black neighborhood, I clench my purse because I think they're all gonna steal from me.
Well, let's go back to Lewis. I'm sorry you were rudely interrupted.
Oh, no. I kind of started throwing out questions myself here. I think absolutely. If there's anybody that comes close to that definition of cancel, it is Kanye, and I think he deserves it.
Okay, Chris.
I wonder how canceled he is when we're sitting here around a table talking about him. I mean, because that's the question I was wondered is what is canceled.
Good point.
I mean, people like to scream about censorship and stuff, but all that's happening is he's getting consequences for his actions. People are reacting to what he's said and done, and no one's shuffled him off to some gulag or some.
This isn't Russia,
or
Chris.
concentration
We don't
camp.
have gulags or concentration camps.
But then, so I don't think
He
he's
has to
canceled.
go and work for Mr. Trump.
I mean, he's gonna face. People are gonna say that that's wrong. You shouldn't be saying that kind of stuff. So I don't think he's canceled.
Chris doesn't think he's cancelled. Right. Okay, Chris.
I got to just jump in to say, I don't think cancel culture is a thing. I don't think he's canceled. I think that if there was such a thing as cancel, this might be the closest that I've ever seen. But yeah, I don't think that cancel culture exists at all.
What actually did he do about? Did he say something nasty about the Jewish folk?
Well, it was a tweet.
And then he was saying them out loud.
Okay, a few tweets, and then he read them, and then he read them out loud. It's like when you're reading in class, and then a bad word comes up. It's the same thing.
It's like when you're reading To Kill a Mockingbird and the white kid lands on that one page.
Yeah.
He volunteers to read it.
No, but he didn't know.
Sophia.
Sophia loves Kanye.
I do not love Kanye.
We don't want her to get like
I
death
don't-
threats after this.
I don't know who told you I love Kanye. I do not. Here's the thing. I know a lot of people who love Kanye. And what I was saying earlier was like he said slavery is a choice like a couple years ago, and like people I know like they just didn't care. They kept moving. So I'm wondering like with all of this shit that's like escalating, like he just keeps going and it keeps getting worse. I'm not sure how it'll play out. I know there are some people, like especially at my school, who could care less about what he says, who are like, no, man, it's just like he's a musical genius, you know, like you just have to separate the art from the artist, which like I can get to an extent, and I don't know, I feel like his music sales might not drop as much as maybe his like clothing brand and stuff, because I feel like there's more people who buy his clothes that don't listen to his music, and I feel like the people who have been listening to his music are the people who are like already diehard fans and have already heard him say all this like crazy shit, and so they don't care anymore. And
Sophia, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Just out of sheer curiosity.
Yeah.
Do you go to school and are your friends like in a predominantly white environment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
'cause
all.
I feel like that makes a difference.
Yes.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, no, all the white kids at my school love Kanye. And it's like really off-putting because it's like it's really the way that they use him as like an excuse to be like, no, dude, like I'm progressive, like I listen to Kanye. It's like, what do you mean? Like, no, I don't only listen to like white rappers, like I also listen to Kanye.
So they don't listen to Eminem, they listen to Kanye?
No, literally, like.
Beastie Boys.
Oh, okay, yeah, Beastie Boys.
But yeah, like they use, I don't know, but yeah, lots of white people I think definitely are not going to care, and like the alt-right like Nazis and stuff, if anything those people are going to start caring about him. I feel like we've already seen that, like people who would have never in the past listened to him are now starting to, because they're crazy alt-right extremists and they're vibing with what he's saying. So
Meredith.
So I have very strong feelings about Kanye. I feel like in my culture, in the black community, he is absolutely not necessarily canceled, but we cannot stand behind him. I mean, the man walked into Paris Fashion Week in a White Lives Matter shirt. Like, there is no person that can look themselves in the mirror and say they give a damn about their own civil rights or freedom and say that they also support Kanye. So I realize it may be different in white culture, but then again, like, I mean, also, he's kind of railing on their side of things. So, like, you know, am I surprised that they still want to, I mean, the black community, I don't see supporting him going forward. And
But he's already a guy that, in theory, being canceled for many people a long time ago, right? I mean, just for his seat with Trump, like, I don't give a crap about that guy. Like,
they don't
for
play
a long
him.
time.
They don't play him on black radio stations. Like,
Good.
He's not on 103. He doesn't get played on 103. He doesn't get played on 107.3. I know y'all don't know where that is in Bulgaria, but they're African American radio stations.
Yeah.
And they don't play his music anymore. Like, his new releases, none of
Good.
that stuff gets played on our radio stations. And to be honest with you, we were the core group of his support. So he can go F himself. My thoughts.
F himself.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
F himself. F himself. That's an interesting phrase, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very American phrase.
It is. Not very Bulgarian.
So, yeah, I have a bunch of thoughts on this topic. So, first of all, you say the black community canceled him when he walked on the Paris Fashion Week with Black Lives Matter.
Oh, no, it was before that. It was when
Yeah.
he said that we were responsible for our own slavery. That's when we were
Oh
like,
yeah,
we don't
yeah.
do crazy.
And he walked with White Lives Matter T-shirt on Paris Fashion Week. I think he should be canceled just by walking on Paris Fashion Week, whether he wore anything at all, you know. But White Lives Matter is an organization. It's not a statement. It's a white supremacy organization. It's a group that was found specifically as a counter to Black Lives Matter, and is a white supremacy horrific organization. So shame on him for doing this. Also, this was like maybe the third worst thing that he's done. The first, number one, is that abomination of a song called Barry Bonds. That is one of the worst songs in the history of music. of any music, not rap. It's horrible. It's horrible. Then
I actually like that song, so let's chill out.
Barry Bonds. Then something.
Evil's opinion is objective. You're wrong.
Something is catastrophically wrong with you, sir. But and then number 2 is Kanye trying to sing. This should never ever happen again. Please, Kanye, please don't fucking sing. You singing Bohemian Rhapsody almost destroyed me for the rest of my. I mean, so I disintegrated listening to Kanye trying to sing Bohemian Rhapsody. Do not sing, you fucker. Horrible musician, horrible human being. I recognize bipolar disorder, and I don't think this is due to his bipolar disorder. I know what bipolar disorder is. No, this is a conscious decision. There's a lot of money to be made in the right-wing universe. He's constantly on Tucker fucking Carlson.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like Candace Owen, all the same.
One of the worst human beings in the world, and constantly playing, providing soundtrack to this horrible choir of white supremacists and racists and right-wingers. And I think it's conscious because he might have got canceled by some companies, but he is going to make a lot of money in the right-wing universe. Then, Adidas, give me a break. You know who Adolf Dassler is? Adolf and Rudolf Dassler, 2 of the biggest Nazi sympathizers, created Adidas in Germany in the 1930s. They were one of the most devout members of the Nazi Party and supporters of Hitler. And Adolf, appropriately named Adolf Dassler, created Adidas, and his brother Rudi Dassler created Puma. Both of them are Nazi members. Both of them supported the Nazi Party. So Adidas has a lot of baggage in this story. And they probably disassociated themselves with Kanye quite quickly because they know that they're carrying all this luggage, this horrible heritage, Nazi heritage with them. And, there's a lot of companies, by the way, that were sympathizers to the Nazi Party. Sadly, one of them, Associated Press. Associated Press, which I actually trust nowadays for news, was like one of the only news companies in the world supporting the Nazi Party in Germany during 1930s and Hitler. And, so every time I read the news on Associated Press, I feel a little bit guilty because I know what kind of horrible heritage they have with the Nazi Party. But yeah, this is horrible. He is doing it consciously, and I'm not listening to his shit anymore, his music, and I don't care about him. Yeah. I cancel him.
Eli.
Kanye said a lot of stupid shit. He said a lot of racist shit. Will this be the straw that breaks the camel's back? I don't know. But,
That's what I'm saying.
I know that he is shielded from a lot of oppression of, his own supposed people because of his class position. And that he does not know what the fuck's going on. So that's how I feel about Kanye.
Kathleen.
I have never considered Kanye West to be worth my attention at all. So hell with him.
Well, let's finish up with Cassidy. Put the food down, answering the phone.
Okay, so Kanye, as everybody else has said, said a lot of bad things. And bad person should be a slur. Okay, that's it.
Julian is whinging because he wants to have a second bite of the cherry.
Now his mouth is full.
No, his mouth's full. Make your mind up.
Right.
So, you want to eat or talk?
Talk.
Right.
So, I think that Kanye should, stop. Because he said a lot of stuff in the past. And at this point, I'm pretty sure everybody's just done with him. And, there's this other artist named Drake. And he used to be called the whitest black dude ever. Because you know.
He's from Canada. Come on.
Yeah, he was just built that way. But I would like to say that we shift that to Kanye, because, like, what has he done?
I actually take umbrage with that because that comment is basically because he's light skinned, and that speaks to colorism in the black community.
Nah, I've always experienced it
because it's very true. There's a lot of money in being far right and black.
Yeah,
I've always experienced it as because he's a goofy dude and he says stuff like
he's so silly.
I remember he said this thing one time while playing basketball that was the very stereotypical white phrase, and that's where I saw it starting.
And he has puppy dog eyes.
I don't like how it's because he's light skinned, but I think
he has what eyes?
He has cute little puppy dog eyes.
What?
Yeah, Meredith. Did you mention last week the one African American guy that's at every Trump rally in the background?
Oh, that dude?
Yeah, that crazy guy. Yeah, no.
That's basically Kanye.
That's exactly what I was talking about. That's why when you bring up Candace Owen, when you talk about Stacey Dash, there is a lot of money, and the right side of things is willing to pay a lot of money to have a black person who will stand up and espouse their ideas. So that's why I do think what he's doing is calculated.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move. So I think generally speaking, points.
Did I win? I win that. Yeah. Gotta be me.
For saying the least.
I think I got it.
Well, I think
10 points.
I think the general consensus is nil point.
30 points for you.
For everybody actually, because he's clearly a nasty piece of work, and I did call on Fernando. He is ticked.
I think Andrei deserves minus 10 points for saying Barry Bonds was a good song.
Once again, Evo's opinion is objective.
Okay. Right. Next one. I have to declare an interest in. I didn't come up with this question, but it's a sort of two-parter. The UK now has a person of colour as Prime Minister. Rishi Sunak is the first Asian, first Indian, youngest PM in the UK. Quite a lot of that's not true. Secondly, will the uber-rich new PM last longer than Liz Truss? Why or why not? And the other question is, will race play a factor in how long he remains? I would just like to address, as I say, I didn't do this question. The UK now has a person of colour as Prime Minister. Rishi Sunak is as English as I am. He went to an English public school. He speaks English, and if you didn't know what Rishi looked like, and you just listen to him on the radio, he could be any colour, and that is how I would like to do it. He's not the youngest PM in the UK. Various American media outlets have said that he's the youngest PM. We had a PM who was younger than him just a little over 200 years ago. And it's not our fault if many countries who criticise him just aren't as old as the United Kingdom. So there we are. And again, uber rich. Well, he was a hedge fund manager. He's made his money.
Oh, he didn't drive Uber?
No.
I mean, you said he's uber rich.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
I'm going to be honest. I saw the question and I was like, why is Uber in there? Why is Uber the
It's a
PM?
very good point. But he made his money perfectly legitimately.
He married into
he
it.
is married to a billionaire's daughter.
So that's legitimately.
Yeah.
So that's perfectly legitimate.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's nobody here who wouldn't, if your in-laws were billionaires.
I would not marry a billionaire's daughter. I'm sorry.
Why not?
Just
I
wouldn't do
would.
it.
Well,
Because I'm not into anybody's daughter. Too young.
But like, say they were just like a billionaire's son who was, I don't know, however old you are, same age as you.
you were, with respect, my dove, you and I got together. You had no idea whether I had wealth or not wealth. And the last bit of this is, will race play a factor in how long he remains? The Conservative Party could never be described, and all my Liberal Democrat friends are now going to roll around, could never be described as a racist party. You will never find any Conservative member of Parliament who will say, well, of course, racist Surbiton here. We don't like them, those
Order.
people. No, we support having an Indian Asian prime minister. Now, you will never catch any of them saying anything publicly. What they say at home will horrify their children, but you will never get that. But it has to be clear that he is there. He got himself there, and he isn't the youngest prime minister. He may well be the wealthiest. That's open to debate. We go back 200 or 300 years. Will race play a factor in how long he remains? I think he will remain as long as he does the job, and that's probably for 2 years.
So,
Lewis.
Question. What exactly did Liz Truss do? Meredith and I were talking about this on the drive over here. We couldn't figure it out. We don't understand.
Austerity policies.
Well, she was known as a flip-flopper before she started. She would go with whoever was whispering in her ear at the time.
But she was there for
like
6
Bush,
weeks.
like Shrub.
What was she able to do in the 6 weeks that she was there?
Well, wait, she proposed extreme austerity measures that were almost instantaneously affected the country. And she proposed like severe tax cuts to the richest people and the richest corporations, and she proposed to transfer the cost of that to the regular people. And it was a disaster from the get-go, and she showed no character. And like Kath said, she was, or was it Jeremy? She was considered somebody that goes with the whatever the last person in the room said. So
she's always been like that.
Yeah.
So that's.
Yeah. Then how did she get the position?
Because they couldn't. Because the various other contenders were too far in their particular direction, and she was the easiest one to vote for.
Yeah, and two-syllable name. I mean, Liz Truss. It's easy.
Yeah. So let's move on. Kathleen, you have a go. So.
Okay, there's a long. It was a
Microphone.
long question actually. So do you want Rishi Sunak or Liz Truss?
Rishi.
Okay, I think he's going to have a. I think he'll probably make a go of it. Actually, he's smart.
Yes.
Nobody's arguing
very
that.
intelligent. Very.
And it's very possible that with conservatives losing trust and ground in the country, he's going to have to listen to other. He's going to be listening to other people because he's smart enough to actually take in a few extra ideas. So he might last a while. He just might do it.
He will.
He's going to be the first proper prime minister for a little while.
Yeah.
Who wears a jacket and tie and acts like a prime minister, even if you don't like his politics.
He's not a Trump wannabe. There's that going for him.
Although he did support Brexit, right, Chris?
Yeah, and he may not be
stupid. But
he may not be a Trump wannabe, but he's still a Tory.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to deal with the Tories. And I read a great article on Naked Capitalism about this, and they don't think this guy doesn't think he'll last very long because he's basically going to have to do what the Tories want him to do, not the things that are going to actually fix the problem. I mean, there's so many things that really need fixing, and they can be fixed, this guy says, but not in the ways that the Tories think they're going to be fixed.
Maybe he'll have to form coalitions elsewhere. Maybe he's smart enough to do that. I hope so.
Well, he may be smart enough to do that, but are the Tory backbenchers going to let him?
I don't know.
Just so you know, he's only got another 2 years anyway, and then there's an election.
Yeah, every 5 years they have a general election anyway.
He's got 5% body fat, Obama ears, and he hails from Kenya. His parents come from Kenya. It's got to be. What is it about leaders coming from Kenya? I mean, it's just successful leaders. He is very well educated. You're right. Yeah. He's very intelligent, but very rich. I don't know how. I don't know how those things don't contradict each other. But to me, he's kind of a hope for Great Britain and the world because he's also, although he's a Tory, he's got some very progressive views. It's not conservatism in Britain is not the same as conservatism in the United States, and he has some very, very progressive tendencies. He is a huge advocate for climate protection and battling climate change. He has proposed cutting taxes for corporations in the past, which is so rare.
Like here.
Rare here and rare even in Britain.
Cutting taxes for corporations?
No. I mean, not cutting taxes.
Raising.
Imposing taxes on corporations.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I was getting the points ready there.
Thank God I'm editing this, so I will edit it correctly. Yeah. So I don't make mistakes on this podcast, by the way. So yeah, he actually proposed taxes to corporations and implemented like a 12% tax increase on the richest, including himself and corporate. Who does that? In America, that's unheard of. And it's never going to happen. So I have hopes for him, and I think Jeremy is right, and he's going to be a proper prime minister.
Eli.
From what little I've seen of this dude, he seems like a neoliberal douche. I don't like him. I mean, maybe he's better than Liz Truss, maybe not, but
is he better than Boris?
Better than the bar is so goddamn low, man. Like,
better haircut.
Eli,
a better haircut at least.
Eli,
at least there's a haircut.
Immediately correct yourself because he went to Stanford,
oh,
and that means he did a lot of pot.
Oh, right. Well, that's something at least. Come on, let's get some pot in the UK, man.
That just gives you really crazy ideas. I can't.
About that, you know.
Yeah, they have plenty.
Meredith, what think you on our new Prime Minister? I hope I don't have to advocate that you empty your mouth before you speak into the microphone.
You waited until she took a bite.
Wow,
Anyhow.
that's some tongue you've got there, girl.
Watch it.
You're welcome. Anyway, honestly, gotta be real with you. I don't really particularly have any thoughts on this dude just because I haven't really read up on him enough. I mean, I'd rather see what happens. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to jump in with an opinion on this too early. My only thought was the same thing that Lewis had, which was I didn't understand what Liz Truss did, but you explained that adequately. So I don't really have much on Mr. What's his name? That guy.
Hey, his name. Sumac. Always remember sumac. Are you allergic to sumac?
No.
Okay, so then you're not allergic to Sunak either.
What is that?
So his name is Sunak.
Andrei.
Like sumac.
Andrei, what think you to the new British Prime Minister and all that goes with it?
I have no clue who these people are. I've never heard their names ever. Yeah, that's about it.
Hey, Andrei, I gotta tell you something that is gonna immediately create negative impression for you on him. He only cares about fucking cricket and horse racing. He has never cared about American football. Not even rugby. All he cares about is cricket. He's crazy about fucking cricket, man. Who does that?
Okay, now I have some thoughts on this guy.
Yeah. and horse racing. Come on.
Let's go back to Meredith. She apparently has now got some thoughts.
I mean, I'm just saying the cricket thing. Okay, all right.
Enough. Yeah, go away.
It's not a bad game. I just don't understand where you'd get an
It's
obsession
pretty bad.
with it.
It's
Like,
pretty bad.
No, hang on, Evo. Let's. We have to do this because you and I do this every time cricket comes up.
Yeah.
Please name the most watched sport in the world.
It's not
It is fucking cricket. Yeah,
Soccer.
because of India. Because 2 billion
Skit.
people live in India.
More
You
people
know.
watch cricket than watch any other sport. What is the biggest participation sport? Fishing. So let's move on then. Sophia, could you at least pull this back to some semblance of sanity? Thank you. 2 S's. Semblance of sanity there.
These nuts.
What did she say?
Amazing response.
What did she say? Mic drop.
Yeah, it's a fake name.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's a very real name, excuse me.
By the way, Jeremy mentioned fishing is the number one participation sport in the world. Bullshit, it's not a sport, but it's an activity.
It is too.
But did you guys hear about the two fishermen that cheated in fishing competition?
No.
And do you know how they cheated? All right, they filled the bellies of the fish they caught with lead, so they can weigh them, and their fish will weigh much more than their opponent's fish.
And they were stupid to pack so much in that it was obvious that people will pick them up and go, "This should weigh this much," but why
this tiny fish weighs 700 pounds?
A little bit in. I mean, good lord.
This fish is the size of my palm. Why does it weigh 50 pounds?
Yes.
I mean,
Lewis.
this is hilarious.
Lewis.
What's up?
Step in. Your turn.
Again?
Oh, I kind of started with the whole.
All right.
I didn't understand. Well, and to be fair, I still don't understand the mechanics of how
Think
Truss
Reagan
could get
and
in
Thatcher.
for 6 weeks, and then Sunak can take over for the same party, but they can be such radically different politicians. That is that's problematic, but it's because I don't understand how the
Think of
system works.
it doesn't matter whether you want to think of the Republicans or the Democrats. You know, you've got people on all sorts of different sides. You know, with the Republicans, they're now talking about maybe there being two parties, the Trumpers and the DeSantises. It's the same with the Conservatives, except the Conservatives is made up of millionaires who all know that they should be running the party. They don't think it, they know it.
This is why there's a disconnect for me, because that tracks with what we saw with Liz Truss. But then you've got Sunak here that seems to represent a different mindset.
No,
and that's the problem.
they may not respect the fact that he's, they say, Indian Asian or something like that. They do respect the fact that he's wealthier than any other bugger in the Conservative Party. And so,
and he's not female, which always helps with the Conservative.
and he doesn't have boobs, he's wealthier than the Kardashians,
And while he might have some progressive...
his family is in fact wealthier than the Queen was.
They had billions and billions of dollars.
Chris.
And while he may have progressive ideas, again, it comes back to the party is the one that's in power, and it's the Tories, the Conservatives, and they're all going to have to vote on this stuff. And if they don't want him to do, spending and tax increases, then they won't let that happen.
They won't support him.
So kind of going back to that, like this is where I have the disconnect. Like if Liz Truss was so abominable, like how did she get there within the party? And if she's so abominable and he's so much better, how did he get there within the party? There's a part of this that I just don't
Then
get.
I respectfully suggest that you watch the last series of Yes Minister, the last episode of Yes Minister. Because that will explain to you.
I have the Betamax. I have a Betamax copy.
Right now,
I'll give to you.
Right now, I want to explain to the listener. Right now, two people are holding Lewis back. He's trying to run to the door to watch the show. He's trying, but we're holding him back until this podcast is over. Yeah,
Fernando.
I think this guy Sunak rhymes with Tupac.
Yeah, so that makes me.
And I think he'll be the next Churchill.
He's
period.
Yeah, he's also.
I can feel it.
He's also the most famous Tory since Tory Spelling.
Yeah.
Wow. And Tory Amos.
Exactly.
Julian, do you have any thoughts on the very wealthy new Prime Minister of England?
I have a few thoughts. Number one, I think you're a nerd because you're like, oh, he's not the youngest because 200 years ago. Yeah, but 200 years. Like,
hey, accuracy counts.
I don't care about how long ago it was. Just say it. You don't have to specify that it was 200 years ago.
I'm just trying to put you in your place.
He's
you Americans.
Encyclopedic knowledge.
With an M. Americans.
Right.
Yes.
I also think
so. That's your first thought.
Why does it matter that he's rich? Like what is the point in going, oh, he's super rich?
Because rich people want to be ruled by rich people. That's why.
Ew. Also, I have one question. Jim,
go on.
What do you think is the best kind of fruit juice?
Apple
Like,
juice.
not to be political in any way,
Actually,
but
no,
what is
cranberry mango juice.
what is the best fruit juice? Cause like I really like apple juice, but some like grape juice or cranberry
What
juice.
has this got to do with whether or not
Just answer the question.
grapefruit?
Amen.
What?
Amen.
What kind of answer is that?
Grapefruit juice.
Cassidy.
Okay. So he's rich and all, and he exists. I don't know anything about him, but I looked up. Actually, no. I got this from a very reliable source that cricket is not the most watched sport, and it's actually soccer.
Oh, football. Now I know what you're talking about.
It was
You may be
originally
wrong.
called soccer.
The
It
non-American
is said that if
word.
America wanted to attack the rest of the world, the final of the World Cup would be the afternoon to do it. Because
Football.
everyone from Russia all the way around to China, along to Argentina, up through and stopping at Mexico, and then starting in Canada again and going all the way around the world, including Australia, will be watching the final, except America, who won't be
That-
doing anything that
That would be the
afternoon.
wrong time because America would piss everybody off for interrupting
Well,
the World Cup final, that no one would let us get away with it, that they would stop, kill us, and then go back to watching the game.
yeah. And that may be true. So let's, we've got to the end of that one. I'd like to do some points if I can. Let's have a quick look. Oh, yes. Chris has scored another 10 points because he has managed in talking about... He's managed in talking about Rishi Sunak, the new Prime Minister, to use the words Tory and naked in one sentence. So that was rather clever. And in fact, it was the second time he used the word naked in the thing. Andrei lost 10 points, that he hasn't got any points anyway, so that doesn't matter. And in fact, Meredith is on 0 point again for having no thoughts on a perfectly legitimate question. So,
Had thoughts. Liz just stole them all.
okay, so we're coming up to the last one. I don't know whether we've got any sponsors this week. That young lady hasn't been terribly efficient recently, has she, Eva?
No.
No.
She's busy with football.
Football. Oh, right.
With association football.
She's
Like
been
soccer
doing
or
with
football?
So the word soccer actually comes from Great Britain.
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yes.
It was called, they call it association football.
Yes.
And from the word association, somehow they came up with soccer.
It was manipulated.
Manipulated to
Yeah.
it. So soccer was actually
Seems like
in
something the
England.
Brits would do.
Now, I
Just
don't
like
know
you
where
keep
this
girl
next
boss.
question came from, but I do not want anyone, including you, Cassidy, to fool around with this question or say anything wooed. Nothing wooed. No one is to say anything wooed. What is a childhood hobby that you still do without shame? I don't want anything wooed, right? Not even from you, Julian. No. Don't go there. No. Eli.
Oh, Jesus.
Right.
SpongeBob.
Childhood hobby that
SpongeBob.
you still do without shame.
SpongeBob. SpongeBob
You do
SquarePants.
SpongeBob. What do you do to SpongeBob? Is he a...
Who lives in a...
I don't know about
What
that.
do you mean by that?
Eli. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Obnoxious and porous is he. What is that?
wow. You close it.
I don't really understand that, but never mind. Andrei, what childhood
Absorbent
hobby
and yellow and
do you
porous.
still do without shame? Don't grin at me like that. Just tell me.
I don't really know.
Oh, come on.
Like a hobby.
Yeah, what do you do?
I didn't really.
You still do without shame.
You have like a pacifier that you sleep with, or
No. Oh, I have like a stuffed animal I sleep with sometimes.
Do you? What's
yeah.
her name?
His name is Snuzzy.
Snuzzy.
Yeah, I named him
What
that.
animal?
It's
Snuzzy, what
he's
sort
a
of-
rabbit.
She's
He's a
shaped
rabbit.
like Kim Kardashian.
Hang on.
She is.
She's a rabbit.
What do you do with that?
Did you?
Yeah,
Did you
that-
say it's you've got a rabbit called Snuzzy?
Yeah, that
Right.
and I every time I pee, I like to go in a stall and pull my pants all the way down. Like I'll stand up, but
That's
I
a
like to do
childhood
that.
hobby.
So if there's
That
not
is-
if
that
there's
was the
not
question,
many
what is your
people,
hobby?
well, that's something I do. I don't really do it. I sleep with
Yeah.
the stuffed animal, but that's something I do. yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna go next to Sofia and ask her what is Andrei's childhood hobby that he still does. We'll come to yours in a minute. I'm just interested to know the truth.
This Snuzzy is the real one. I whispered to him to say that because he conveniently forgot.
That's not a hobby.
No. But it's just something that you do is you still have Snuzzy. We used to like Snuzzy has been like a part of our family. First, okay, he was mine first. Let's clarify that. And then my mother stole him from me in the dead of night to give to her newborn child because she loved him more.
Yes.
And so he got Snuzzy. I do get 1 more % in the will. So he got Snuzzy, and he would literally go everywhere with him. Like, it was really sweet. Like, he would bring him to school in his backpack, like, up until high school. Like, weren't you still doing it in freshman year? He just chills in the backpack. My mom would, like, take him to work and, like, take him on adventures when Andrei had left him, and she would take pictures of him. It was, yeah. No, that's Andrei's thing.
And so
our grandma tried to steal it from him.
While we're on Sofia, then, what childhood hobby do you still do without shame?
I don't know. I feel like, dude, I don't fucking. Do you know any?
She still plays the violin.
That's true. I do still do that. I did that when I was 2. So.
Are you okay?
I guess. Am I okay?
I don't think anybody who has played violin since they're 2 is okay.
Oh, I'm okay. I'm making it my career, bitch. It's gonna be this for the rest of my life.
But from 2, you can barely walk, and then
no,
you
yeah,
pull out
we
a
were
violin.
forced into it.
People who play cello from 2.
Oh yeah, I'm
Julian,
sure they're doing great.
then,
Right,
what childhood hobby?
Federal
still
tax
do?
avoidance.
Federal tax avoidance.
That is awesome.
You see, hear me out. Because my dad's a lawyer, it's not illegal. Tax evasion is illegal, but tax avoidance is any legal means of getting out of your taxes.
Very
Julian,
true.
we gotta talk more.
Excellent.
You need to spend more time with your
next?
mom.
Meredith. Meredith, what is a childhood hobby that you still do without shame?
I mean, I don't know if it's a hobby, but it is something weird that I've done since childhood. I eat dry spaghetti.
You.
Stop looking at me like that.
It's not bad. I do it too.
No,
It's
it's
not-
so weird.
It's not because of the flavor.
Guys,
cooking it
guys.
and eat it.
Hey, Cassidy, shush. Let her finish because she's clearly embarrassed. And
I'm not
you should
embarrassed.
give her
I just
space
know that
time.
Cassie hates it. Like
It's not that
like,
bad.
I mean, but yeah, no, I will definitely sit and like chomp down a whole entire box of spaghetti, like
I
dry
feel that.
spaghetti, and just not even care. Don't look at me like that, Fernando. I mean, there's definitely the look in your eyes.
I'm not looking at you.
I don't know if you can see me with all them beers you got on the table, bro.
They're not beers.
Cider, my bad.
Thank
It's
you.
not gaslighting.
We still
either.
need to stage an intervention for Fernando.
Chris.
I still play board games religiously.
Religious board games.
No, as often as I can.
Check.
And
lacrosse,
I still do woodworking and home repair. I used to help my dad fix stuff all around the house, and of course golf.
Are
Sorry?
those childhood hobbies?
Golf.
Golf. Oh dear.
Golf is.
I'm curious. At what age did you start golfing?
7.
Who said?
So not as early as Sofia then with her violin.
I think.
I beat you at 5 years.
Yeah.
In a contest.
Use the microphone.
Sad. Cassidy,
I play Minecraft without beating it.
you play your what?
Play Minecraft without beating it.
a good
I've done
one.
that
Oh,
since I was
Minecraft.
like
Right.
since I was like
Enunciate,
7.
dear girl. Enunciate. Minecraft.
I
there a way to
did.
beat
It's
it?
not Minecraft.
Jeremy
It's
actually have
Minecraft.
Mine.
Maybe you need to enunciate,
Like,
Jeremy.
As in mining something.
Ah, now I understand you.
No, it's mine.
Game.
Excellent.
I actually have a hobby of hers,
Minecraft.
which
Like
is
Monopoly, a
harassment.
different version.
That only started like a year ago. So
Okay, we're going back now to Sofia for a legitimate one.
I just remembered like my real answer, dude. Online like dress up games where you like get to like dress up. Like, oh my god, those are so fun.
Sofia
Sometimes when
dressing
I get
up.
really bored in school, I'm on Girls Go Games, dressing up Elsa, getting her ready for her wedding day.
Okay, so Julian, you did federal tax avoidance, so we don't really care about you anymore. Kathleen.
Okay. I don't play dressing up games. No, never appealed to me.
Why not?
Yeah, cause I think the thing I have done all my life, I still do, and it's kind of childish, really. When I get into a book I really like, I will find a quiet place and sort of hide there and read it.
Nerd.
Do you mimic like the facial expressions when they describe it and you can't figure it out like what it looks like in your head, so you do it yourself and then you remember what it looks like?
No.
Oh, I do that all the time.
No,
I
always know what it's like.
I don't read.
We knew that. We knew that.
We know.
Yeah.
The thing about burning
Reading
books,
is for nerds.
I just can't relate.
Interestingly, Kathleen's daughter once said that they could set off an atomic bomb next to her when she's reading a book, and she genuinely wouldn't notice anything had happened.
I think she would
Lewis.
notice.
Probably
It's just
notice because
evaporated.
your
Lewis.
skin would burn off.
Lewis.
I like to dig holes.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Just
that's
holes.
It
in
is
the yard.
very fun.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Like with a shovel, just grabbing a shovel
guys,
and digging
guys,
a hole.
Guys, please. One talker.
Okay, legitimately, the thing that I am probably like most interested in doing from childhood is finding old cameras, taking apart the optics. Like for some reason, just the magnifying glasses that you get out of cameras has always been this obsession of mine. And what it has transferred to now is finding old cameras and turning them into digital cameras. I probably have like 5 or 6 cameras that I then will stuff a Raspberry Pi in with the optics from the Raspberry Pi, and I make digital cameras out of like cameras from the 30s and 40s.
Cool. Hey, if you took some of those old lenses and stacked them one on top of each other, would you eventually have a laser come out the other end or something?
I now have a new hobby to investigate.
Fernando.
Gosh, hobbies are fun. Like there's so many, and I'm the slacker. I like to start and don't keep going, but I mean, it's pinball always.
Uh-huh.
And I wish I
Snooker?
had a giant house full of pinball machines. Snooker, I like to play. It's been a while. I tried today, but some friends denied the invitation. Not woodworking, still ongoing. Now I'm doing candle making too. It's possibly a business. Guitar player, still on a limbo since like high school, but from time to time I put some riffs. Skateboarding, they say that already or no?
Skateboarding.
I still do, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he's good.
But yeah, I mean, I keep looking for more, and hopefully I can pursue and stick with longer. But I really like hobbies and a music collection, like forever.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
I mean, vinyls and
Woodworking.
CDs and audio equipment.
What woodworking? I didn't know you do that. Like
I
statues.
try. I mean, I'm a newbie. Like, but I'm trying to. I made some projects, but nothing too excited, and still learning. It's a very hard learning curve there, but it's a fun
Jeremy,
thing.
I would like you to take a second and think way, 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 way back to when you were a kid and tell us if you have any.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody can remember.
Back in the
that far
day.
back.
I think the only reason you remember
200
British
odd
history is
years
because you
ago.
lived through it.
I remember
Trial
actually
Pearl Harbor.
one day back.
Was it the first day?
Yeah. Well, I was 6 when I was born already, but I do remember the Germans were bombing, and I was with my teddy bear Pooh, and we were in an air raid shelter talking to each other, and there we are. Evo,
Were Germans?
save me.
They were bombing in the First World War.
Yes.
Wow.
From Zeppelins.
Yeah.
Big airships.
So
Guys, he's not that old. You do realize that I'm older than he is?
No.
What?
No,
Yeah.
we-
Yeah.
That's a
Honestly,
plot
no.
twist if I've ever heard one.
You're impressed, aren't you?
I don't think so.
she doesn't look older than you.
She's gonna like you. Can we adopt you?
Can you guys show your IDs?
She is. She's 3 months older than me.
2. Let's not exaggerate.
3. Your birth is in October.
That's
Mine is
nothing.
Where's the ID?
That's
3.
2 months.
October, November, December. 3 months.
See some idea.
Evo. Right. Everybody shush while we hear Evos.
I would rather watch 2 hours of an actual picture of a cricket than watch a fucking 2 hours of a game of cricket.
What did you do as a child?
As a childhood hobby.
It's interesting. I've heard this story, so let's see.
I still attend decadent orgies. I also
When
do
was your first?
I also do
Are there
some.
non-decadent orgies?
Yeah, I also want to. I do some morning woodworking.
Someone had to go there, didn't they?
Damn you.
Someone had to go there.
Then I just want to say, Snazzy is an asshole.
Yes.
Fucking a loyal asshole. Changing allegiances like this. Yeah, it's just not fair. And then was it Bernard Shaw that said golf is a beautiful walk spoiled?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Small balls.
But
Just trying to irritate everybody at the table.
so Chris said that he wants to die peacefully in his sleep, which meant he wants to die peacefully while he's playing golf.
So,
Yeah, it's never
I'm not going to
peaceful on
let
a
you
golf
get out
course,
of this,
so-
Evo. Come on. What is a childhood hobby, apart from carpentry first thing in the morning, that you still do without shame?
You know what he was doing.
No, come on. Let me answer the question.
Kicking the ball.
I don't know. I'm playing all kinds of.
But what
silly
did you do
games.
when you were living in wherever it was, Sofia?
Yeah.
You used to hang out with a gang of guys, and you did you do things with bows and arrows or something? You did something on roofs.
Oh yeah. That's So that I don't do that anymore. We had this game.
You say?
Yeah, these street games, wars that we had when I was growing up, where we would steal the antennas on the roofs. Back then there was antennas, right? And we would make weapons out of those antennas. Did you do that, Fernando? So you made funnels out of paper, out of newspapers, and you would use the like a blowgun. You would use the aluminum antenna pipe as a blowgun, and we would shoot at each other with these funnels, and it was dangerous.
You can put the needle.
You can, some people
I
would
remember
put
doing
needles on it, and you can take somebody's eye out. And this was massively popular game. There were all kinds of strategies. People hiding in basements and popping out of basements and doing all kinds of bizarre. It was really
Please
weird.
tell me you're not still doing that.
No, well, there's
Only
nobody.
one goes
Yeah,
back.
not
Yeah.
here, but yeah, it was
There's
crazy.
a few antennas across the river.
Yeah.
Lewis.
So Evo, like we didn't really have the roof aerials when I was a kid here,
Yeah.
but you reminded me of the like dumb, stupid game my brother and I would
Guys.
play. We watched. There was a show that came out once every 2 or 3 years when I was a kid. It was called Battle of the Network Stars, and so they would have like the TV show personalities do these insane stunts. And my brother and I once saw 2 stars that we liked. I don't remember who it was, but they were juggling with fire sticks. So, what can my brother and I do? Because we know that if we juggle with fire, Mom will probably get upset. We decide to make homemade hatchets. So we get some sticks, some straight sticks, and I basically mark one side of the stick so that would be the fire side or the blade side.
Yeah.
And we get to the point where we can juggle these sticks back and forth at each other. Like I'm standing at one end of the driveway, my brother's standing at the other end. Eventually, this gets boring because there's no real danger involved, and I still know that Mom won't let us juggle with knives, so I decide to come up with my own blades. So I figure out that if I take a tin can and basically crush it down on this stick on one end, I can sharpen the edges of the can that they are sharp enough that like we literally like cut down weeds and stuff with these homemade hatchets. And so for like the next 2 years, we learn how to juggle. We are juggling hatchets out in my front yard until one day my mom actually walks outside and sees it. So No more hatchet juggling.
Yeah. But now that you're a lawyer, you can buy your brother fantastic prosthetics.
There
Why
you
don't
go.
you switch to fire
my
then?
brother's like a lead
wealthy doctor,
so
yeah.
but he needs to buy me some prosthetics.
Cassidy.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Kathleen.
So you said that you like reading, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you do that thing that all teachers do where they like swallow their 2 fingers and to turn a page?
Oh, God, no. You don't need to do that. You just turn the damn page.
You go.
I have never seen a teacher do that.
I have so many
Okay.
times.
Yeah, it's when teachers what, right before they're gonna turn a page in a book they
They
go.
lick their finger and make. Oh, that sounds kind of gross.
Those
No, I
2
just
fingers
sort of
specifically.
normally turn a page. You know, it's not difficult to turn a page.
I'm very impressed at how enthralled the kids are at the prospect of somebody reading a book. Like the questions that Kathleen is getting just from the idea that you would sit and read are dumbfounding.
I'm just wondering if
This reading is the only way to get entirely into a different place with no thoughts of yourself.
Debatable.
It's just completely out of things and away from yourself.
You know, I think that might be a little bit debatable. You know, you could
Honey pie. If we debated, I would so crush you.
No, once again, debatable. But I think reading might just be for nerds. Just saying. Like I don't know about you, but like me personally,
Absolutely.
I think it's for nerds.
The best.
Julian, I'm just gonna take issue with that. That's very debatable what you just said.
I can
No,
respect
think
it.
it's
I
very
get it.
debatable.
Some dumb people do in fact read books, but majority of people who sit down in the middle of the day, people who take out a book and go, I'm gonna read this lovely book today.
psychopath.
That's a beautiful, that's an elegant point, and 1,000 points to our listener for surviving this abomination of a podcast.
Yes, truly. I do want to just cover the points situation I was asked to earlier on. Andrei actually has minus 10 points.
For Barry Bonds.
Yes, for Barry Bonds. Julian scored 50 points.
Let's go.
For saying that his hobby was federal tax avoidance.
Let's go.
Meredith was doing quite well, but
Until
she decided that she was going to tell everybody about eating dry spaghetti, and her points went down to 7. Yes. Chris.
I've tried it.
I
I
don't know
hate
the
it.
flavor.
Chris got 20 points for mentioning naked twice, and also Tory together, and also he got 2 points for being quiet. So he got 22 points. Right. Cassidy has managed to get 49 points. For her interesting responses, in fact, to do it. But I think we have to come back, in fact, to Andrei, who, although he had minus 10, he got 70 points for admitting that he still had a rabbit called Snuzzy. That
asshole.
That he does do something with the rabbit's arsehole. Evo seems to know about that. So I have to declare that the winner, in fact, tonight
Andrei.
is Andrei. Well done, Andrei. And
Good job, Andrei.
hello. Thank you, with
No.
Mr. Snuzzy.
I came out on top of you,
No
Cassidy.
sponsors.
I hate you.
With Mr. Snuzzy, I want to thank our team tonight, which is Andrei, Sofia, Kathleen, Julian, Meredith, Chris, Eli, Lewis, Cassidy, Evo, and Fernando, who thought he was going to get forgotten. On the knobs, our engineer, Neil Rasmussen, who's come back
From morning woodworking?
for morning woodworking on some cruise, and whose wife has left him, which is very sad, but it's just how it is. And so, again, ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to another Wednesday Night Undress.
Yay! Thank